government says it spends $600 million on fuel importation monthly. Plus, Nigerian Army confirms death of protesters in Zaria, Kaduna State. Now the news in details. In a significant move to diversify the economy, the Benue State government has distributed over 4,000 tinara oil palms to youth in the state. The youths received the palm trees at the Benue Alia Palm Project plants in Makudi through the initiative of Governor Alia and other stakeholders. Under the Benue Alia Palm Project, the governor plans to cultivate over 1 million oil palms yearly to position the state as a key player in the oil palm industry. Correspondent Emmanuel Akula covers the event and brings this report.
The project is Alia Youth Palm Legacy, advocating the planting of tenara palms to grow the future. Governor Alia says he is passionate about this project to turn the state into the hub of oil palms in achieving the objective of lifting thousands of families out of poverty. Represented by his Senior Special Assistant on Youth Mobilization and Empowerment, Moses Mkenim, the governor projects planting of 4 million oil palms in the next 4 years and to support 10,000 smallholder farmers to grow oil palms. He says he is anticipating the establishment of 5 processing mills to enhance value addition, create 20,000 direct jobs in the oil palm sector, increase oil palm production by 50% in the next 3 years, and promote sustainable farming practices and environmental protection.
If we plant a palm, we're building a future. We're growing a future, basically, because we're taught the economic benefits of palm trees. We're here to ensure that the youth of this state take part in this great initiative that is about to turn around the fortune of, to reshape the fortune of their lives.
Other stakeholders, Chief Silvanus Gashara and Chief Barnabas Gemade, Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, Aunduna Dajo, Commissioner for Youth, Sports and Creativity, Tekimbi Kange, and that of Finance and Economic Planning, Michael Gleba, who also sponsored the Tenere oil palm, affirms its high-yielding capacity and potential to boost the income of local farmers. The stakeholders urge local farmers and people of the state to plant the oil palm for their domestic needs and financial freedom.
If you plant this in the next 3 years and it starts to produce, I can produce for like 20 years. It means somebody who has 100, who has up to 1,000, you can only check how much you have. So it's actually a legacy project.
If you plant 200 trees of palm successfully, in 3 years, you will never be poor again in your life.
There is no leadership without followership. We can only be clapping hands for the wrong thing when we are not giving them respect. When we say earlier the better, please, I want us to stand by him. This is the generation of the youth.
For the benefiting youths, this is what the project means to them.
I think with this now, we the youth of Zosi, we can through this achieve. Probably saying that we will become millionaire in the next 3 years.
We have a future in the next 5-6 years where we would be talking about over 150 billion palm economy.
With this project, the people can anticipate significant socio-economic benefits for the state and nation. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Vision News, Makudi.
Officers of Benue State Civil Protection Guards have continued to make more arrests following the vandalization of doors and windows at the School of Aviation along welfare quarters in Makudi. The latest the arrest of a bus loaded with over 20 doors heading to Makudi from Bayango when it was intercepted by officers of the Civil Protection Guards. Martha Iku has details.
Barely 2 weeks ago, officers of the Benue State Civil Protection Guards picked up some suspects who were caught removing doors and windows from the School of Aviation. Then comes this new arrest of some suspects who were conveying some doors in a bus following a tip-off on activities of criminals in the area. The officers who intercepted the suspects around Ikbayongo said one of the suspects and the driver of the bus escaped into a nearby bush. Briefing correspondents over the arrest, the acting commander Benue State Civil Protection Guards, Ayoma Ajobi, says since the last arrest, his men have been keeping a close watch on activities of of criminals in the school, adding that some doors were abandoned in the bush alongside the ones conveyed in a bus along Ikpayongo Road.
This case is a continuation of what happened on the 24th of July 2024. On that day, we arrested some criminals who had gone to vandalize doors from the School of Aviation. After that arrest, my boys were on their trail. We got information that the six doors were abandoned in the bush somewhere in Ikpayongo. These are the 6 doors you can see behind me. Following a tip-off, my boys, while on patrol, got information that a bus was conveying another set of doors to Makurdi, probably to be sold. And so they intensified their patrol and intercepted the bus. In the process of arrest, Abraham Gigi brought out a locally made revolver pistol. He was overpowered by our men.
The special advisor to the Benue State Governor on Internal Affairs, Joseph Har, commenting on the arrest, says it was part of efforts this present administration is putting in place to keep the state safe.
It just shows clearly that we are not relating our efforts, we're not sleeping in the effort to see a more secure Benue State. We're still going to handle this one again to the Nigerian police to see that they are prosecuted according to the law. It's a mandate that we have taken seriously, and will continue to follow it up to see that Benue State is safe and the full basket is filled once again.
A suspect, Abraham Gigi, who was among those conveying the doors, got arrested with one locally made pistol and some ammunition. The suspect's statement says he was only helping those carrying the stolen doors.
I was directed to escort those boys that were carrying the bus to show the road to Ruda P, the safe one, which they cannot sink in the ground. Federal Medical Center Junction there. So the process they stopped there, I saw some boys with stick coming towards us. So before I could know, those boys run. Now they leave me there. So that is how they caught me. I feel very ashamed of myself.
With this latest arrest, a total of over 54 doors stolen from the School of Aviation have been recovered by the officers of the Benue State Civil Protection Guards. The suspect will be charged to court at the end of investigation. Martha Iku, Benue Television News, Makurdi.
The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy Wale Edum has revealed that the country currently spends $600 million on fuel importation monthly. Edum said that the high import bill is due to neighboring countries, up to Central Africa benefiting from the country's fuel imports. The minister stated this during an interview with newsmen. He explained that the situation was the reason President Bola Tinubu removed fuel subsidy, as the country does not know the exact amount of fuel consumed internally. He said the nation must take a decisive step to tackle the problem of its impaired economic growth. Edum also clarified the recent decision to raise the minimum borrowing percentage in ways and means from 5 to 10% does not imply that the federal government tends to rely on the Central Bank of Nigeria financing, describing the approval of the National Assembly as a fail-safe measure. The minister also said the welfare of Nigerians remained a key priority for the current administration, particularly ensuring food availability and affordability. He assured that all the measures adopted by the administration would not undermine local farmers, as importation would only be permitted after exhausting local supplies. According to a report by the National Bureau of Statistics, the country petrol import was reduced to an average of 1 billion litres monthly after President Bola Tinubu removed the fuel subsidy on May 29, 2024. The state government has agreed to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage to state workers. Speaking in Akure, the state capital, the state head of service, Bayo Phillips, said that the governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has given assurance that his administration will not do anything less than whatever is approved by the federal government as the national minimum wage for workers. Phillips said that the government was ready to implement the new national minimum wage as approved by President Bola Tinubu for workers in the state. While restating the commitment of the governor to the welfare of the state workforce, he recalled that apart from Ondo State being the first to pay the 35,000 naira wage award to workers, according to him, the state was also one of the few states that paid beyond the 6 months earlier stipulated and would continue to pay till the new minimum wage fully kick off. Philip added that the government also extended the gesture to retirees and workers in the state-owned tertiary institutions as a way of improving the current economic situation in the country. You're watching Countrywide on Benue Television. Let's take a quick break. Don't be away. Glad to have you back. The Chief of Defense Staff, CDS General Christopher Musa, has said that the military and security agencies are after those that are behind the call for undemocratic change of government. He said the military knew that some protesters calling for regime change are sponsored. Hence, the military is trailing and will arrest those sponsors. The CDS said this at a joint press briefing on security chiefs on Tuesday, August 6, at the Defense Headquarters, Abuja. General Musa said that some sponsors of rioters flying foreign flags have been arrested, while their bank accounts have been freezed. Troops of the Nigerian Army have destroyed several illegal refining sites in Rivers and Bayelsa states. The Army said that the destruction was done during an operation by the troops of the Land Components Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe. Acting Deputy Director of 6th Division Army Public Relations Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Danjuma disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday in Port Harcourt. Danjuma said that the feat is the outcome of a renewed vigor aimed at reducing the activities of people he described as notorious illegal oil bunkering markets in the Niger Delta region. He disclosed that the Army has effectively scaled up operations against the criminal elements in the region to increase oil production in the oil and gas-rich region. Still on the Nigerian Army, which has confirmed the killing of protesters in Zaria, Kaduna State, Army spokesperson Major General Onyeman Nwachukwu made this confirmation in a statement on Wednesday. He said the unfortunate incident happened when troops were mobilized to disperse a mob and enforce a curfew imposed by the state government in Samaru, a suburb of Zaria. Nwachukwu said on arrival on the scene, the hoodlums brazenly attempted attacking the troops, prompting a soldier to fire a warning shot to scare the hoodlums away, which unfortunately led to the death of a 16-year-old boy, Ismail Mohammed. He revealed that the soldier involved has since been arrested and is undergoing interrogation. Nwachukwu said that the Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Torred Lagwaja, had sent a high-powered delegation led by the General Officer Commanding 1 Division, Major General Ledal Saro, to visit and condole with the family of the deceased. He said the deceased has been buried according to Islamic rites with senior military officers of the Nigerian Army in attendance. Our human rights lawyer Femi Falana's son has warned protesters to desist from anything that would jeopardize the objectives of the protest. Falana started this while fielding questions from newsmen on Monday. He warned Nigerian youths protesting against hunger, hardship and socio-economic policies affecting the country to be wary of thugs and distance themselves from undemocratic forces who have taken advantage of the peaceful protest to engage in violence or campaign or another military coup in the country. The human rights lawyers said that the act of brandishing Russian flag while protesting in Nigeria is an abuse of constitutional rights. Falana was reacting to the background of violent protests in the northern parts of the country, where protesters were seen brandishing the Russian flag while chanting Tinubu must go. The Controller General Nigerian Immigration Service came in at DAP has revealed that the diaspora sponsors of End Bad Governance protesters have been placed on its watch list. NADAP, who didn't reveal any name, added that unwatch-listed individuals will be arrested upon their arrivals in the country. She disclosed this at a meeting of heads of security agencies and service chief in Abuja on Tuesday. The immigration board said that the service has, in response to the protest, deployed more officers to border both land and airports to ensure effective manning of those entry points. NADAP said that the service also stepped up surveillance to prevent foreign intervention in the country. Director General, Department of State Services Yusuf Bichi said that the agency has uncovered some sponsors but declined to give further information. The DG, DSS, who was represented by the Service Public Relations Officer Peter Afunaya, said that some accounts have been blocked. He said that some of the persons operating such accounts are staying abroad, adding that they are being monitored. You are still watching Countrywide on Benue Television. Let's take another break. Don't go away. Glad to have you back on Countrywide. The Controller General of Customs Bashir Adeniyi has expressed hope that the suspension of duties and taxes on imported food items over some times would help reduce food prices. Adeniyi said this in his service dedicated to implementing the policy as outlined by the government. He spoke at the security heads meeting in Abuja on Tuesday. He said that there was a need to ensure the interests of all the stakeholders that were considered before the implementation of the policy. The customs boss urged Nigerians to be patient, adding that some of the imported items already in the country will be cleared without duties and taxes. With that report, we've come to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Before we go, a recap of the top stories. Benue State government has distributed general oil palms to youth. Federal government has said it spends $600 million on fuel importation monthly. We also told you that Nigerian Army has confirmed death of protester in Zaria, Kaduna State. Thanks for being part of Countrywide on Benue Television. I am Susan. Remain blessed.